welcome. My name is Marvin Gumbo, author of various books on the history of punk rock, including but not limited to Please Cut the Crust Off, an oral history of the Bread Boys, and Barbecue Blowout, the demise of Arizona hardcore. You can find either of those books on Amazon.com or in your local half-price bookstore. Of course, today we're here to talk about the impossibly influential and endlessly significant group Bug Society and their debut single, Bug Society, with B-side Mosquito Casino. Now, some background context. Bug Society has their origins in Butte, Montana, which is, of course, not known for its punk scene outside of this band, but nevertheless, it has become an enormous landmark and now punk mecca due to the legendary status of Bug Society. The band formed in 1981 following the punk explosion in New York and the influence of the Sex Pistols' American tour. A young John Turismo, later to rename himself Johnny Fuckhead, saw the Pistols live and decided to form a punk band. Scraping together literally the only two friends he had to form a new group, there was Fuckhead on guitar and lead vocals. Bass was delegated to Gerard Carpenter, later known as Gary Shitstain, and on drums was Marcus Aberdeen, who would of course be known simply as Cock. None had any musical talent or experience and stole their instruments from their high school band closet when Mr. Shields wasn't looking. After a mythical first practice session, the band had already written, recorded, mixed, and mastered 2 songs, the first of which you just heard, the title track from the debut single, Bug Society, which is also the band's name, if you didn't catch that. While it's a scant 36 seconds of music, the fury and incendiary political discourse contained within it would shock the nation and induce labor for the already pregnant punk rock scene in America. With lyrics like, "We all live in a bug society," they struck a then untouched chord with the hearts of the American youths, an exploding rage that was harbored during the Ronald Reagan era. To break it down further, the opening verse is, "We all live in a bug society where we drop like flies. It's like the Lord of the Flies when you live in a bug society." Now, of course, the core image that the band is presenting is one of a society composed of insects. I think this comes across with the lyric, "We all live in a bug society." Johnny Fuckhead's poetry is so rich in that we can really pull many interpretations from it, but mainly one that would seem to criticize the hyper-commercialism and plastic pop culture of the American 1980s. We might compare the strife of young people struggling against the then popular concept of trickle-down economics to a bunch of bugs, because they're so small and helpless. Fuckhead goes on to say that we all drop like flies. Flies, of course, are bugs, and considering his proposition that we live in a society made of bugs, there is sort of a clever little connection there. The phrase drop like flies usually means to die suddenly and in great numbers, as Americans did during the war in Grenada, which took place 2 years later. But anyway, moving on, the song announces that it's like the Lord of the Flies. Again, the flies motif, but here in an allusion to the famous novel The Lord of the Flies by author William Golding. In the book, a group of children run around yelling things like, "We live in a bug society," as they debate Reaganomics and Star Wars, the space defense program, not the film. A debate of Star Wars the film takes place in Lord of the Flies 2, The Flies Rebellion. The song goes on to repeat its eternally relevant and poignant central slogan, "We all live in a bug society," which is a simple and beautiful sentiment that has, of course, remained a staple of culture and academia all around the world. Now, of course, Bug Society as a group would only ever make this one recording, releasing it and then disbanding, all in the course of about 42 minutes on January 13th, 1982. But despite its brevity, it has remained a monumental cornerstone of American popular music. Johnny Fuckhead would go on to a semi-successful career with the band Bloody Dumbbell before striking out on his own, and having at least one major hit with the song Rented Flowers, which made its way onto the soundtrack to Cameron Crowe's movie Singles. Gary Shitstain disappeared into the working class in Flint, Michigan shortly after making the recording, and Cock infamously died in a motorcycle crash inside of an elevator. Next, you'll be hearing the B-side, Mosquito Casino, a very politically charged song that would make equally large waves in music and American culture. I'm Marvin Gumbo, and here's Mosquito Casino.
Mosquito Casino, 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 Mosquito. I'm not gonna go to the casino. It's got mosquitoes sucking money. It's a metaphor, one that I stand for. Mosquitoes also suck things, so it's political, I guess. Mosquito Casino, 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 Mosquito.
This is Scott Haggard. We just listened to Mosquito Casino, the second track from the elite, immortal record, Bugs Society, from seminal punk rock group Bugs Society. And with me today is the members of Bugs Society, Johnny Fuckhead
Present.
and Gary Shitstain,
What's going on?
and special guest from Vice Magazine Print Edition, Molly Stringwald. Thank you for joining me. Now tell us. Oh, fuck. Just cut that out. Now tell us about the song we just heard, Mosquito Casino.
Yeah, that's a great question there, Stu.
That's not my name.
It is now.
I had written Mosquito Casino.
Well, we have written it. All three of us. We all did it.
You may recall, I was working at a casino at the time.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And I was walking around, and I saw all of those pitiful souls just attached to the machines and games and tables and whatever's on a casino floor. And these things were just sucking the money right out of their pocket holes like a mosquito, but with money. If you remember the lyrics, that's...
We just listened to it.
Yeah, well, it's poetry, so it's always great to reiterate.
Yeah, absolutely is.
Yeah, well. So yeah, I wrote it.
Yeah, no, you didn't. You came up to me in Cock and said, "Hey, I think I have an idea for a song, and we can collab together and try to figure it out. Like, I try to set that up." Like, yeah, sure. And you and I remember adding on to that song the fact that this the society we live in, and with Reagan being there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Reagan was a huge catalyst.
Yeah, huge.
Huge. I just remember walking around in the middle of the street just pissed off thinking about how Reagan's there.
I just remember I remember on TV, and I said, yeah, there's big teeth right there.
I'm sorry. How does Reagan relate to casinos at all?
Well,
you got like Reaganomics.
Yeah.
You got...
You see, in the casino industry, they're all just putting their money into all these things, and it's like the money's trickling up, but just straight up to Johnny Casino, which was another name I considered, but now that's a placeholder for whoever owns the casino.
Yeah, I'm still not seeing the Reagan.
All right, guys. With this next question, I'm gonna ask you, what does punk rock mean to you?
Well, as the founder and leader of the band, I feel like I have a good perspective on this.
Yeah, one of the three.
Gonna go ahead and ignore that. So, what I felt when I heard this fast tunage coming out of the stereo boxes, I knew that punk rock was just about getting the guitars out.
Oh, getting the guitars. Yeah.
Oh, you got to get them out.
Yeah.
And so I did. And I play guitar on the album, so I'm kind of the most punk. But, we both got them out, me and you. Well, you played bass.
Yeah.
Do you think people are walking around like punk rock? Let's get the basses out. No, let's get the guitars out.
I would say that's a pretty important part of punk rock.
Well, what do you know?
This is us.
Yeah, we're talking about
between us.
This is between us. So.
It's my job to know, but
between
okay.
Us. I'm still important too.
Yeah, nobody asked you. So we got the guitars out and we just fucking rocked it. We rocked the house.
We did.
And we did it. We talked about it. Politics.
We talked about the issues. The society we surround ourselves in.
We just walked around and we're like, look at this society. It's full of fucking bugs.
It's full of fucking bugs.
Look at that bug over there. You're going to the casino. What is he going to find when he gets there? A mosquito.
Just a bitch bug.
Yeah.
All right. What is the inspiration to really start the band?
Well, I started it. Let me get that out of the way.
Just gonna say this, no.
Well, if you heard the commentary track from earlier, it's well known that I saw the Sex Pistols when they played out in Montana, the famous Montana show that they played, and fucking Frankie Screwball opened up for them, if you remember.
Well, I thought it was also Stewart Mango too. Also opened up.
Well, Stuart Mango was the manager.
Well, it was at Ringball Field, so I don't...
Now you're just making things up, I'm pretty sure. But...
That was well known.
I saw the Sex Pistols, and I said, look, Johnny Appleseed on the fucking vocals, and I was like, man, I gotta get the fucking guitars out. I gotta rock, and I gotta speak truth to power, because this guy Reagan, he's out there, he's fucking saying things that I don't think are good, and so I'm gonna get these fucking songs on.
And then you came to me in Cock, and then
I said I need some help.
No,
in a minor way.
Do you want to join a band with me?
That's
all three of us can have something going on.
No.
Could you even name like one thing about Reagan?
Are you still on about this?
Don't like?
Why are you
Well-
still on about this?
You guys are still on
Reaganomics.
About Reagan, so.
Well, yeah, that's
Reaganomics.
it. There it is.
Yeah, there
you
Why
go.
is it?
It's bad, I think.
He's big teeth. We are calling that. That's
Trickle up.
trickle up. Yeah. I
Tricky
don't-
dick.
What's
So, why exactly did the band split up?
I know this is a big mystery for most
Is it
people.
'cause
It's
it
not
was
for
bad,
us, no.
Maybe?
we all
No,
know.
no.
To
What the fuck why are you at this round table? This is for
just-
celebrating the Bug Society songs.
look.
Well, I'm just a little
No one
confused.
asked
There's
for you
really
to be
nothing of
here.
Substance in the songs, so I'm just
We
trying
weren't
to
even.
understand, guys.
We weren't even like told you were gonna be here. You just are just
I'm
here.
from an important magazine.
So
No,
anyway,
you're
this
not.
is a question for us.
No, whatever.
The band split up because one day, same day we recorded the album, and actually the only day we were ever together. But I came in, I said, "Look, guys, it's been a fucking extraordinary run. We have had so many adventures and journeys and travels together, and as the Grateful Dead once said, what a long, strange trip it's been." Of course, I hated the Grateful Dead because they weren't punk. They didn't really get
You
the
did
guitars
say
out,
that.
in my
I do
opinion.
remember.
Yeah, I did say that. And I said, look, we said it. We said so much with these songs. We said
Yeah.
we live in a bug society. We said there's a mosquito
You know,
thing.
we hate what we live in.
Yeah. And we said it. We spoke truth to power. We said Reagan, he's bad, and we need to deal with that. And punk rock music, that's how we did it. And it's in the vinyl, and we said it all.
So
So I said, let's stop.
he had the monologue, but he also threw a guitar through a window, and he also burned a shoe in the studio and burned down the entire studio. Actually,
There is
cost us
absolutely
a lot of money.
no proof of
that
that.
we didn't have because we were just starting off as a band, only a day, and so he did all that in a day,
Okay,
in
the
an
shoe,
hour.
the shoe thing might be true, but that's just because
Pulled it
it
out
was
the
punk
window,
rock.
the guitar out the window. It hit a kid. It was literally just
Okay, punk rock. Step 1, get the guitars out. Step 2, burn a shoe.
well.
We know this.
Those are two quintessential steps.
Yeah,
But yeah, you
Is
don't.
it?
Yes.
yeah.
Who are you?
What do you know?
Stop.
I'm a punk rock expert.
No,
I
you're
write
not.
about
No.
it all
No,
the time.
absolutely
no,
not.
no, no.
You just look at computers or just fucking whatever.
You would
I
know
use a
about Reagan.
typewriter.
Ew.
What are you from the 80s?
Yeah, what are you dumb?
Like an idiot?
You're
All
from
right.
the 80s.
No.
What?
I mean, we are,
Fucking
but we're
stupid.
alive
Yeah,
now.
we're fine.
So it's cool. We're famous. We're an important
Yeah.
band.
We no.
No,
I
No,
I don't think so.
and absolutely
Who
not.
reads Vice?
Who's actively reading it?
A lot of people.
No.
We
No.
have
No,
millions
no.
of readers.
How come we
No.
never heard of it?
Never
I
heard.
don't know. I don't even know who
Obviously,
you
'cause it
guys
sucks.
are.
That's because we're punk rock,
Yeah.
and you are corporate.
I don't even have a response to that.
Yeah, you can't.
All right. Gary, where have you been?
Well, stash. I don't. Whatever. After the band broke up and the studio burned down, I decided that I think my time as a man of the scene was over. So I headed up to Flint, Michigan, and there I got married to Melanie, and we had 2 kids, Bort and Termus. And me and my wife, the kids, we have a garden up there. We have a little bit of a farm too that we plant eggplants, and
It doesn't sound very punk rock to me.
well, like I said, that was a scene. So
Yeah, well.
While I'm on the topic, I have a personal question for you, Gary. Did you also, at some point, get your doctorates in homeopathic medicine? Because I see Dr. Shitstain, homeopathic medicine, everywhere.
yes, I did. Thank you for noticing. I was very proud of that. As soon as they announced my name at graduation, I knew I was I knew I had a future ahead of me, and I got the lab coat right after graduation, and in big bold font said Shitstain. And I knew-
Homophobic medicine? That's
homeopathic.
fucked up. What do you turn to the Reagan side? That's
Yeah, homeopathic
punk.
is definitely equal to Reagan. I'm just trying to have a good life with my 2 kids in my
a
farm.
good life. Yeah, right. I got fireworks going off in my dorm daily, son.
Just because you start fires off in your dorm and wake your neighbors up doesn't mean that my life isn't
Punk
good.
rock.
Why are you living in a dorm?
Why you keep burning places?
What's the next question?
All right. The next question is, I know that Cock passed under tragic circumstances, but how are you guys coping with that?
Well, that's I'm sorry. Let me adjust the mic for. That's kind of a tender topic, and I'm frankly a little distraught that you didn't provide that on the question sheet. But no, you got me
brought that
going.
up
So
on us and-
I remember. I remember the day I heard about it. You know, it's. I was out promoting my hit single "Rented Flowers," which was at number 63 on the Billboard 100, and fuck.
I was out tending to the ant farm that Termis and I were making.
You interrupted me. I was telling my story.
Well, you did
So it was dramatic pause. Okay. So fuck. I remember I got a call, and it was from Cock's wife, Balls, and she said, "Jonathan, I know that it's been a long time, but he's dead. He fucking drove his motorcycle into the goddamn elevator again."
We told him the first time
There's
when he just broke his leg that it was gonna be worse the second time.
There's fucking red mash everywhere. And I have to clean it up. Me. And I said, "That's fucked up."
She said to me that when the cops arrived and they just saw a puddle, that she'll never find love again. And I said, I
So-
remember the wedding. You only interrupted me too.
I don't remember the wedding. I was so fucking blasted on Smirnoff Ice.
Look, all I saw was the headline of Cock and Balls. And I knew it was a match made in heaven.
I do remember the funeral. And
I do too.
I went up to the missus and I said, "I am willing to play Rented Flowers for everyone here. It's very popular right now. It was on the singles soundtrack." And she said, I said, "Don't worry, I'll do it." And then I walked up there and I got up to the mic and I sang.
I remember.
Yeah. And then I got off and everybody clapped at the funeral.
Well, not Balls, because she was. Didn't want
Well,
you.
she was a little out of her mind.
Well, she didn't.
And that's when
You were
I
standing
saw
on his grave.
my opportunity, and
You tipped over the gravestone.
well, no, don't recall that.
You did. Well, you
But-
kind of did. And you farted
well,
really loud, and
no,
there was another funeral.
no, you're
and
forgetting.
They heard that.
No, you're not
And
remembering
so
correctly.
They were wondering, and you said in exact words, "I have the Smirnoff shits," and I didn't know what to say, but to say, "I miss Cock."
Well, that brings me to the next part of the story, which is another one of the things I remember, which is I went up to the missus and I said, "Hey, are you doing anything later?"
It was right after you said, "I have the Smirnoff shits." You went directly
Yeah, well,
to her and said, "Do you want to get out of here?"
I mean, there's no proof of that.
You were extremely loud. during the funeral.
It's amazing that you remember these things, but not when I wrote the damn songs that made your career.
Is this the appropriate time to have this feud?
We
What
had a
feud?
touching moment right here.
No
and
idea
now
what you're
just
talking about.
ruining it.
There's no feud here.
All right.
Just one rock
Can't
star and one
Dude,
regular
just
ass
share
fucking
moments
dude.
with their dead friend Cock.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
So, what's next for Bug Society?
Well, Bug Society's a fucking thing in the past, for one.
Yeah,
God.
and it.
Well,
Well, you know,
it's still a thing in the
it's
present
still-
also
still
because
happening.
it's so
it's
important.
so goddamn good.
And you can't name a single band out.
Still totally relevant.
You can't name a single band going today that isn't influenced by Bug Society.
I could
Name-
personally name hundreds, but
Okay.
Sure.
Give me 3.
Yep, right now.
I literally don't need to.
That's a classic.
yeah.
It doesn't know a fucking
Yeah,
argument.
no shit.
No, she doesn't know shit
Great.
about punk rock. She doesn't know shit about Reagan, and he was a bad dude.
Look, I will say,
But,
even
if
though the
there
studio
was-
is torched, still pretty it is still pretty cool.
I'm sorry, if there was a lineup, would you even be able to pick Reagan out of it? Do you even know what he looks like?
He's tall.
He's got some blubber.
He's a blubbery, tallish
He's got real-
presidential
yeah.
folk.
You guys don't even know who Reagan is.
Yeah, he was the president.
He was the
of
man.
The
He was a man on the screen.
Grenada.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm working on my solo album. My next one, it's called Fucking. And it's
Yeah, how would I have guessed that?
Fucking with Johnny Fuckhead. I did something experimental on this next album. I pulled a bum off the street and had him play bass. And it was better than anything you ever fucking did.
Mm-hmm. Tell me, when's Rented Flowers going on to number 5 in the list?
Rented Flowers was a fucking cult phenomenon.
Too bad no one heard it and bought it.
Well, everybody who saw singles did. So
Nobody saw singles, so it's not really saying much.
It's on my MB server, so I saw it.
Well, it's yours. Who
Well, it's not my
else's?
movie, but it's my song's in it.
I mean, yeah,
I watch
but
it frequently, but
that's how.
I invite people over and I'm like, "Have you seen Singles, the Cameron Crowe movie with that one actress?"
Yeah, I'm sure it has 10,000 plays, 9,500 of which are you, and then plus 400 for your other account.
Yeah, well,
I do have the numbers, and I can attest to that. So.
who's this? Anyway,
I
I'm
don't know.
from Vice.
I'm kind of warming up
This
to
is
her
my
now.
job.
She kind of got me on that
you're
one.
from Rice?
Vice?
All right, guys. I'm going to give one more line to each of Johnny Fuckhead and Dr. Shitstain, or Gary Shitstain, formerly.
He complains all the time about how he doesn't get the fucking
I know
credit
he's gonna
for
do
his.
it.
He doesn't
He's
get
gonna
the
do
credit
something.
for the songs, even though I fucking wrote them.
All right.
We all wrote
That was
them.
both of your lines.
No.
No,
Don't
no,
cheat
no,
me
no.
out of this, Skippy.
Don't do
You
that.
guys are done.
No. My last words are also my most important words that I wrote. We live
fucking
in a.
suck.
Now, hey, what the hell?
Out of character.
No.
I'll say that one, but you kind of still do.
That's incredibly rude. For you
It's
to
not
just.
wrong. But
Oh my god.
Okay, now you don't
It's
even need to
about
be
you
in
too.
the.
Yeah, get the fuck outta here.
Get the fuck out of here.
Shit.
God.
I've worked really hard to become this important and be in this place.
Yeah, and you
and
work
it
for
feels
Rice.
like
Yeah, we did
You
too.
were
You
for-
Are you
guys
kidding
did
me?
absolutely nothing.
You
You
work
ever-
for
to get to
Rice
this
and a
point. I'm actually
typewriter.
shocked that this is even happening.
You ever heard of Fugazi, the band?
Yeah.
Yeah, well they know about us.
No,
They're a big.
We helped-
They're a big.
we helped
We're
them.
yeah. We helped.
We helped them.
We're important.
No, you didn't.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
No.
Yeah.
They were around. No. They were
Mm.
around before you.
No.
No.
They came out like
No.
10 years later.
Yeah.
Bro.
No.
Some
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
some
yeah,
historian
you're
you
some
are.
fucking punk expert.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
Wow.
Well, anyway, my last line is going to be, as I said, my most important line, which I wrote and will take full responsibility and credit for, which is,
Yep.
we live in a bug society.
As usual, yeah. It's all ours.
No.
He came up with a casino, and I say this. I don't care.
We really must live in a bug society. if your music is
Wait.
considered good.
Why are you getting?
Yeah,
more-
are you still talking?
Hey, why? Are
Okay,
you,
hold
I need to
what is
focus on
this?
something real quick. What did you say, Gary?
I don't care.
That's pretty good. Okay, so I got some studio time booked in Cabo Wabo next weekend, and I don't know.
Right next to Pinsky's?
I think, yeah.
Oh,
And
I knew it looked like a shit show, but you got something good there.
I mean, I think this "I don't care" thing might be. You might be onto something.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Shut up, Rice.
So you want to? What do you think?
One more shot. Okay,
We're fucked.
shut up.
So look out for "I Don't Care" lyrics and music by Johnny Fuckhead. Here it comes.
Gary Shitstain.
Well,
Doctor.
I mean,
Gary Shitstain.
the idea for the song is mine.
No.
All right, for the final segment, it will be Molly's interpretation of the events
Fuck.
that transpired tonight.
I don't really want to hear this. Can I leave?
I have fewer
No.
words for this than you guys said in your entire album. And that is really saying something. Because there was absolutely nothing said in your entire album. I don't even know why I'm here. I don't even know what this assignment was.
Same thing we said.
Real mature. Thank you.
And as always, this is Scott Haggard. And in memory of Cock and his loving wife, Balls.
We miss you, buddy.
Keep the punk rock alive.
You can't.